Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Oh, I missed my reverter cue. Hey, reverters. Let's get us on the screen so you're not just hearing our voices. How are you this evening? Welcome to J is for Justice. Let's get us up here. Oops. There we are. Hello, ladies. How are you this evening? We've got Potato and HJ with us tonight. Everybody give them a warm welcome. Potato stayed up late for us like she always does, so we're really appreciative of that. Who does? Nobody. It's not needed. Leet Sauce. Thank you for subscribing. Can you guys hear them okay? Are they loud enough? CR, thank you for your super sticker. Thanks so much. Welcome to J is for Justice tonight. We are, bear with me because you know how it is. I'm using a new system, right? But we're going to be good. So we're going to be going through the timeline first before anything. And then we're going to watch the latest update from last night, which is only like 5 minutes long.
JB, it's
and then we're gonna talk amongst what? They can't hear you guys? They can't hear me? Oh shit. Okay. Hang on. How about now? Can you guys? Are you kidding me? Everything was fine before we went live. Like, what the freak? All right, bear with me a minute. I did turn the volume way down. Maybe that's why. I didn't turn it all the way down, but I thought that it was too loud earlier. Okay, now talk. No, it's still not picking y'all up. Let me see. How about now? Yeah, you guys just keep talking so I can see the bar. When the bar starts moving, I'll know I got you. So just talk. I don't know anything. Just make the bars move. Make the bars move. I just don't know why it wouldn't all of a sudden be picking you guys up. I didn't change anything. I know, and it always happens. Oh, I think I know what the problem was. Okay, let's try it now. How about now?
Hello.
Yeah, they can hear you now. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to change my audio. Oh, you guys hear? It's like a. Did you guys hear that, Jet? Oh,
yeah.
Did you guys? Oh, it was a curtain. It was a curtain.
Curtain down.
The Jet made my curtain go nuts. Kiss my Gria. I can't. So yeah, they can hear you now, guys. So we are good to go. But like I was saying, we're gonna go through the timeline, and then we're gonna watch that latest update, and then we will talk about our theories, and then we'll start taking your guys' calls. We'll put the link up in chat. I know that Shane Culkin was gonna call in. I know he's doing laundry, so he's gonna call in when he's done folding his tidy whities. So we will be anxiously waiting Shane's theory tonight. Objection. But before we start, I just want to say, you guys, I know last night, Potato, this is off topic of Idaho, but you were saying, how come my autoplay goes to frickin' Daryl Brooks every time?
Every single time.
Every time.
I cannot get away.
Right. Well, mine either. And now I think my husband has a big, huge crush on Judge Jennifer.
Oh,
I don't blame him.
Yes, I know. Right? I'm like, well, at least you have good taste, right?
Exactly.
But I was cracking up because before I went live, I was like out there and I'm like, I heard, something, and I always like kind of get an earshot off the phone. And it was her. And I said, oh, are we watching our favorite judge? It just cracks me up. And it does. It comes on after every video, too. So it's like.
Yeah, every single time. And I don't know how to stop either.
Well, I think you have to, every time you see Brooks, you're going to, unless you want to see Brooks. I know we all love
Who
Brooks.
would want to see that man?
I'm kind of sick of him.
You can go hit those three little dots, like I said the other day. You hit those three dots and then you say not interested or don't show me this again. But don't say don't show me because then it won't show you the channel. So just say not interested. And then they'll like not show you Brooks.
I'm too loud.
Oh, I can turn you down. I've got control over here, y'all. You just sit tight. How is she now?
Am I good now?
I think it's just that HJ was lower. So let me turn HJ up a tad. Okay, HJ, talk.
I'm talking.
Okay, much better. You're so soft-spoken. Like, we're not. We're just, like, loud and beefy. We're loud and beefy, and you're, like, soft and sweet. That's a compliment, HJ.
Thanks, I guess.
Oh, with a neck like that, am I supposed to be, like, kind right now? It's really hard to take you serious, okay? If I'm being completely honest here. Well, let's say hello to the chatters. We've got 355 of them. And the first comment I see is, I don't want to see that hideous evil person Brooks ever again.
You never.
Yeah. Do you guys think he's going to off himself or what?
No, I don't think so.
No?
He's too much of a coward.
Yeah,
and he's too full of himself to do that as well.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah, they're loud and beefy. But then again, cowards. I mean, look at Brian Laundrie. I mean, if we believe that Brian Laundrie's dead, he offed himself like a coward.
Yeah.
And people debated that too. They were like, oh, no way. He's too narcissistic. But I thought from the beginning that he was a weak individual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Brooks would off himself. I mean, he went through a whole trial. So I don't think he will. I think he's too full of himself. Probably believes that he still hasn't done anything wrong. Probably hoping that he'd get out someday as well.
You don't think he was feeling it in the wheelchair?
He had no choice. They're like, get in that wheelchair. You're not messing us around. Plus, I think he was different in that hearing because it was all men. I think he's got a thing about women.
Yeah, I think his history has been that he's been able to like schmooze the women in his life. like his mom,
Mhm.
his grandma, his girlfriends. He found weak women, single moms that felt like they needed him, and put him in a position to where he could manipulate them. And when he's next
Mhm.
to a man, he knows he can't get away with that.
Yep.
So I
It's very
wonder
true.
how he is with the guards, You got to wonder. I bet his attitude changed a lot.
I wonder
I
how he
think
is
it
with the
probably
other
did.
inmates.
Oh, he's probably like a little bitch boy, I would imagine.
That's what
Mhm.
that's what I think.
Definitely not as ballsy as he was with Jennifer Darrow.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Not
No
at all.
way. And she held her own. And I think, that's another reason why everybody really likes her and respects her is the way that she handled it.
Mhm. Yeah, she didn't lose it once.
Mm-mm.
She
I
did
would
an
have.
amazing job.
She
I
never
don't
showed
know
her
how
ass,
she
not
did that.
once.
Mm-mm.
Not once. Someone said he's got to be a terrible prisoner. I almost think like he would just be a little bitch. Like that's all
I feel like
bark and
he'd
no
say
bite.
he'd say one wrong thing, someone wouldn't put up with it, and there you go. Now
Mhm.
he's got his mouth shut.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, screw Brooks. Well, we've got this murder mystery, like literally going on, which is insanity that they
I
still
know.
have not made any leeway at all, seems like. I mean, as far as what we see, I'm sure they have, but I'm not saying they haven't done shit. I'm just saying we haven't gotten anything like, this is who we're looking for, like a sketch. I mean, we had all these friends there, but we don't have a sketch. So is the public, that's the crazy thing. The public's not at risk, they said initially. Then they said, oh, we take that back. Be careful.
Mhm.
Be aware.
Yeah.
And that was probably because they got backlash for saying that they weren't at risk. Then you think about it, there's no sketches. There's no be on the lookout for. There's no description at all of anyone who came or went from that house that night. Nothing.
Not a thing.
So what does that lead me to believe? I don't even know. Like that they're still trying to interview all these kids, that maybe some of the kids that were there went home and now they have to like coordinate. Like, how does that even work? If someone lives in Arizona per se and they go home and this happened in Idaho, they have to like coordinate, or does probably the FBI would go and interview them, but
I imagine so.
it's just going to
Or
take
local
more time.
police.
Mm.
It's like what they did with Lori Vallow when Chandler PD wanted her, but she was up in Idaho doing her thing. They sent police to coordinate with each other and talk to different people and all that.
Well, yeah, and remember when they did that, their wires got crossed too.
Yeah.
There was a problem because that's what happened with the Charles Vallow guy. Was that his name, Charles Vallow? Yeah, the one that was trying to get her help and stuff.
Yep.
The police department at that hotel, when he called, didn't know about the other stuff because they didn't communicate. That's really scary. And they were like right next to each other, same state, So I don't know like what that would look like. These kids all scattering like bugs.
It's kind of scary that it's 9 days. They're still processing a crime scene. And there's been threat to the public, no threat to the public, threat to the public. It's insane. 9 days after the incident that this is where they are. They basically have told us nothing, which we don't deserve to know anything. But if the public is at risk, then hell yeah, they got to tell us something.
Well, yeah, and that's what doesn't make sense to me is that, there's a killer out there, but what are we to look out for other than this knife is the only thing we've heard about and seen a picture of. And the thing that gets me with that, and we'll get to all of that, but is just how they're kind of doing things that we usually see in the beginning of a case over a week into it. And I don't know what that means. If they got, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when the FBI joined this search exactly, but maybe it will be in this timeline possibly. I don't know. I don't know if they were on it from the beginning. Like I don't remember them specifically saying like, now the FBI is involved.
Yeah,
It's
neither
in
do
this
I.
timeline.
Like, I don't remember them saying that, like, hey, now we've got the help of the FBI. I feel like it was like kind of from the beginning, but at any rate, we've got, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's pretty small. Let me see if I can't make it a little bit bigger. But we're just going to run through this just because things change, things, you know, that shit goes. Especially when they're retracting, you know, hey, the public's safe. No, they're not safe. Like that.
I think that's what makes it worse. Like people think that
Yeah.
they're safe to start with, and then all of a sudden they're not, and it's like, well,
There goes your trust.
why are you changing your mind now? Yeah, like what's happened now to make you think that we're not safe anymore?
Right. There goes the trust right out the window. And it's like, okay, now you've got the parents and the families speaking to the media because they feel like they're not getting answers from the police. And that can always be detrimental once they start speaking to the media.
Yes.
And I don't blame them. You know, they want answers. You know, I don't blame them at all. Tara Cook, thank you for your super chat in Canada. Thank you very much. All right. So we have Saturday, November 12th was the night. And between 8 and 9 p.m., Ethan and Zaina, who were dating, attended a party at the fraternity house that was, right down the street?
Mm-hmm.
But within like a half mile, right? And then
I don't know exactly where it was, but yeah.
I think it's about a half mile. When I looked at the little map they put together, everything's within a half mile of each other. The whole thing, the bar, the food truck, their houses. They say an off-campus incident, but it's literally like steps from campus property. So the way
I don't even know why they're making a point of saying it's off campus as well. Like it makes any difference,
because they don't
really.
want the school
to be associated,
tied to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're trying to separate themselves.
Regardless.
But those are their students.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
had a place literally steps away. Like one side of the street was university, the other side of the street was where I lived, and that was off campus. Same with this.
Yeah, and they keep making mention of that. Like, don't worry, your students are safe on campus. This happened off campus. You know, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what do we got next? So then 10 to 1:30, Kaylee and Madison hang out at a local bar, the Corner Club. Then at 1 a.m., the two surviving roommates returned home. So the two girls whose one of their phones was used to call 911, they returned home at 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then police say they may have slept through the attack. May
have. Surely they would know whether they had or not by now.
Yeah, of course they would. But it says may. And that's why we're reading through this. I saw someone in chat just say, oh, I already know the story. Well, here we go through it line by line and step by step. So whatever, that's what we're doing.
It's just a recap. I mean, it's easy to forget little things that have happened in the meantime, but this is just filling in the gaps.
Well, that too. Yeah. And then we learn stuff after the fact, you know, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, they get home at 1 a.m. 1:40, Maddie and Kaylee are seen ordering food. They wait 10 minutes for their food, so that takes it to 1:50. And that's when they're seen taking pictures and all of that. The food truck manager said the two students did not seem to be in distress, and we saw them, and they didn't. So they used a private party to get a ride home. Police say they cleared the driver of any connection with the crimes. And then at 1:45, all murdered students arrive back at the house, but this doesn't really make... I guess it's a little bit off.
They were seen at 1:40. I guess the timings are slightly off.
A little bit off, yeah, maybe like 5 minutes or so. But regardless, we know they get home at least by 2, probably, if their food was done and they took the ride, they got dropped off. So between like 1:50 and 2:26, I feel like, hold on, it's like a war zone outside. I don't know if they're like,
What is that?
it's like a jet. It's a military jet. I have like a base near me.
What is going on?
I don't know. It's usually not
Gosh.
this active.
Should we be on alert?
Maybe they're practicing for something. It's a little scary. Okay, so I'm really in another country. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so between 1:50 and 2:26, when Kaylee starts making those calls to Jack, it's insane. So there's nothing between those time frames. Then 2:26, the first phone call is made, and then 2:44 is the last phone call made that's unanswered. At the same time, Maddie's phone at 2:44, when Kaylee stops, Maddie starts.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not in sequence. It's like, did someone take Kaylee's phone and then she grabbed Maddie's? I don't know. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. So then Maddie's phone makes the 3 calls, picks up at 2:44 to 2:52, and then at 2:52, then Kaylee goes back to her phone and makes
one
a
last
final call.
Yeah.
Family members say this was not unusual.
It might not be unusual in normal times, but when it's just before something like this happens, I would say it's kind of questionable why they were making those calls.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's
for
10
sure.
calls. There's 10 calls in a space of
From
half an
2
hour.
different people, not just one person.
Mm-hmm.
To
Two
me,
people
Which
in the
says to me that they were together, because if Katie made 6 and then Maddie made 3, then I would think that they were together, because otherwise, how else would they know that each other was calling the same person?
Right. That makes sense. So you're thinking they were together and Kaylee was trying to call and then
she was
like, hey, you try to call him. So maybe it wasn't frantic. Okay. So let's take a step back. I mean, we're knowing the outcome. We're knowing that they get murdered. But let's say that it was just a normal night and they were trying to wake him up to come over and party.
Well, that's what I was just thinking. They were drinking. They were having a good time.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
they were like, "Hey, you call him." No, I'll call him. No, like.
Or Kaylee had just broken up with him per her mother. And
Mhm.
per her mother, she said it was probably because Kaylee was being a brat. And they were on again, off again like that. Like they would get back together. She said, but they truly loved one another. And she said that she had no doubt they would get back together again. So could it be that they were on the outs, got home, Kaylee's drunk or tipsy. Oh, I'm going to call Jack. You know how that is. So you call Jack. He's not answering. Well, Maddie, see if he'll answer you. And he doesn't answer Maddie, and then she calls one more time. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it was in the moment of being, attacked and stuff. I think it could mean that Kaylee was just trying to, maybe get him to come over or something, like a booty call or something. And, he wouldn't answer. And she was like, oh, you call. I don't know. I mean, it's a thought. It's a theory. But here, Potato, in this timeline, it does say that is not connected.
Yeah, it does. So they did. So they said that they knew about these calls, but whatever they found in these calls wasn't connected or something. But then when they go back through and say who's been ruled out, the ex-boyfriend isn't mentioned. And you'd think that he would be, because I know that they'd try and rule people out because there's been speculation like about the hoodie guy and the roommates, but there's also speculation about the ex-boyfriend as well. So I don't know. That's just a question mark for me. Why they wouldn't
definitively say.
Yeah. Include
Weird,
him.
because I thought they had.
They were asked, and we're going to watch it in this. It's the one from yesterday, right? The 5-minute one. Yeah. He gets more detailed about the friends, because we watched that one press conference. I don't know how they snuck this little 5-minute update in. I don't know if he went back to the podium like after the presser ended and went into more detail to explain. But it was interesting because we got more insight into what they were thinking. So we'll play that in just a second. But yeah, I have Tracy 3 completely said the same thing earlier when I heard Kaylee's mom saying, we love Jack. It was just like Scott. We love Scott. Scott would never hurt Lacey. I mean, she was adamant that he would never hurt her.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how much you know someone, though. Everyone's capable. You never know what someone's really like until it happens. And then it's like, oh my God, I never saw that coming. I mean, that happens so many times.
Interesting. Okay. So then from 3 to 5, the 4 students who were believed to be sleeping, which has changed, are killed in the house. So now they're just saying some were sleeping, some weren't, some had defense. No, they didn't even really say that. They just said some had defensive wounds. So
they could have all been asleep and then woke up as they're being attacked, because then there would be defensive wounds then.
Meaning
because you'd wake up fighting
in bed.
Yeah.
So some had defensive wounds and each was stabbed multiple times. There was no sign of sexual assault. And then shortly before noon, the 2 surviving roommates wake up after finding one of the victims on the 2nd floor unresponsive. They call friends over to the house. And then at 11:58 a.m., a 911 call is received about an unconscious individual.
Roberta.
Okay, and that call was made from one of the surviving roommates' phones. But responding officers find the 4 students killed. Why didn't, they find one unresponsive and they're not checking on the other 3?
Or even going up to them. Like, if you find someone unresponsive, you'd go up to them and see if they're okay. So if they went up to them, would they not see that they'd been stabbed? I mean,
if I were sharing a house with 5 other people, I'd go to those 4 other people and would try and wake them and be like,
help.
hey, this other person is unresponsive. Come help me. Did that not happen?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's just weird to me.
No, it's very strange. It doesn't make any sense to me either. None of it does.
Wasn't one of them on the landing or something? Wasn't one of them outside one of the bedrooms? Because if they saw someone out in the hallway, maybe they were scared to go any further, so they went back down and then called.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say unconscious if you were scared.
I know, that's what's really weird. Or even try to phone your roommates. If you don't want to go up there, try to phone them. But they haven't said whether they had or not.
I mean,
they just said they phoned other friends.
The police have described this crime scene as gruesome, nothing that any human should ever see. How does their roommate describe someone in that condition as unconscious?
Yeah.
And furthermore, they wait for friends to arrive before even calling 911, and the girls didn't do it. Someone else grabbed their phone and did it.
Yeah. Yeah, after they'd already got there. Yeah, that's strange.
So,
and how many friends arrived as well?
Hey, Kaylee's unresponsive. Can you come over? And then, they come over and you just sit there and wait. Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, who does that?
Exactly. How far away were these friends as well? How long did it take them to get there? We don't know what time they called them. We don't know how many friends they called, how many people showed up. There's none of that information.
Because it just says shortly before noon. But that's according to the 2 survivors.
So 8 hours. 8 hours. They were stabbed and bleeding out. And all that was relayed was an unconscious individual. And they did clarify that it came from inside the house. Make that shit make sense. Let's watch that presser and then we can start taking you guys' calls and talking about all these different theories that it could be. So let's take a minute and we're gonna watch this. It's only 5 minutes. It's not real long. Let's get it pulled up. Yeah. Oh, it is pulled up. Look at me. Go me tonight. I'm speaking too soon, Touch
wood quick.
And And this is a tiny video. I don't know why my stupid video is so small, but that's what she said. And that's just how it is. So more importantly is what he's saying rather than what you can see.
My name is Roger Lanier. I'm a captain over the Operations Division for the Moscow Police Department. My last name is spelled Lanier. I just want to first state that this tragic murder has shaken the community. It's been very hard for members of the community, and it's been equally difficult for our officers and for the investigators. We will continue to put all of our resources
Let me know if you want
towards
me to pause it.
investigating and bringing this to a resolution. Here's what we've determined so far. On the evening of November 12th, Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mulligan were at a local bar and were later at a food truck in downtown Moscow. They arrived home at approximately 1:45 a.m. on the morning of November 13th. Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle were at the Sigma Chi house before also arriving home at approximately 1:45 a.m. Two surviving roommates were also out in the community, and they returned home at approximately 1 a.m. and did not wake up until later that morning. On the morning of November 13th, at 11:58 a.m., a 911 call was placed to the Whitcomb Dispatch Center reporting an unconscious person. The call originated from inside the residence and was made from the phone of one of the surviving roommates. Moscow Police Department officers responded and located 4 victims, 2 on the 2nd floor and 2 on the 3rd floor. The Latah County coroners conducted autopsies, and detectives have been provided with the results of those autopsies. We know that the autopsies confirmed the identity of the 4 victims, determined the cause and manner of death as homicide by stabbing, and determined that it was likely all 4 victims were asleep during the attack. Some of the victims had defensive wounds, and each victim was stabbed multiple times. There was no sign of sexual assault. Investigators have determined 2 areas of interest within the city and have provided maps which are on our Facebook page and on our website. And these are areas that they have canvassed for additional surveillance video and tips, and have contacted several residents in the areas. The areas are generally south of Taylor Avenue to Palouse River Drive and west of Highway 95. Detectives have also canvassed several other neighborhoods looking for evidence, looking for additional surveillance video, and contacting residents and
Okay, so they have narrowed down a pretty specific route, it sounds like. When he just said those roads, like those are the areas they're canvassing. Why?
speaking to them to see if they may have heard or seen something. I want to address several areas of speculation, conjecture, and misinformation that has circulated on social media platforms and otherwise. We do not believe the following individuals are involved in this crime: the 2 surviving roommates, a male seen at the grub truck food vendor downtown, specifically wearing a white hoodie, a private party who provided rides home to Kaylee and Madison in the early morning hour of November 13th. Additionally, the identity of the 911 caller and the 911 call have not been released, so any information out there is speculation about that. Investigators are aware that multiple phone calls from Madison and Kaylee's phone were made to a male subject.
This is the part.
Any online reports stating that the victims had been tied and
He never said He just said we're aware of the phone calls.
Yeah.
He didn't say that person who the phone calls were made to is not connected. But then in
Nope.
that timeline it did. So I'm confused.
Is this the latest one that they done? The latest press release?
This was last night. This was
So
put out last night.
that's so I would go by that one because what was said before might have not been accurate.
The timeline's older than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So he's not been ruled out.
because he went right into something else. I'm going to rewind him and just play that part again and then keep
He
playing
didn't
it.
embellish at all.
He switches to another. He switches gears totally.
Are aware that multiple phone calls from Madison and Kaylee's phone were made to a male subject. Any online reports stating that the victims had been tied and gagged are not accurate. Detectives seized the contents of 3 dumpsters on King Road
He went right to tied
and
and gagged.
searched those dumpsters in an effort to find additional evidence, but nothing of note was discovered. Early in the investigation, local businesses were canvassed in an effort to see if any fixed blade type knives may have recently been purchased. And currently, there are no suspects in custody, and we have not located a weapon. I want to assure you that every investigator involved will continue to put all of their resources and all of our partner agencies' resources into continuing this investigation. We do appreciate the community support. We understand how stressful it is, and we will continue to work through this situation.
That's it. That was the update. There was
We begin with a Fox News alert. The parents of one of the 4 murdered University of Idaho students are speaking out to Fox News.
okay. That's when the parents said, "We love Jack." Now, there's one more thing I want to play before we get crazy and start taking calls. Let me see. I saved it. It's something that just came out. Okay, a student has spoken out following their peers' murders. Let's see.
Now to the latest on
this.
the murder investigation in Moscow. 4 University of Idaho students stabbed to death in their beds.
Yeah, the community is seeking answers. I actually spoke with a student from the university about the tragedy. It's been more than a week since 4 college students were found murdered in Moscow, Idaho. Roommates Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Xana's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, were all close friends and members of Greek life on campus.
I still haven't fathomed it, really.
Sunday, November 13th, police responded to a 911 call of an unresponsive person and discovered the 4 victims stabbed to death in their beds. The community remains on edge as police say the suspect is still at large and they have not located a murder weapon.
We will continue to put all of our resources towards investigating and bringing this to a resolution.
Police releasing new details about the murder investigation during a press conference Sunday, saying that the 2 surviving roommates had slept through the attack and the 911 call was made from one of the roommates' cell phones, though police did not identify who the caller was.
So any information out there is speculation about that.
Circulating in the social media rumor mill, theories that the victims were tied and gagged, police stating this is not true. Also, police did not elaborate on the multiple phone calls that Kaylee and Maddie made to a man named Jack.
I've just listened to the official information. I know there's a lot of, as I said, we said rumors and conspiracies going about, but please just stick to what's being reported from both police and from us at the Argonaut and all the other publications.
Daniel Ramirez is the digital director of the Argonaut, a student-run newspaper at the University of Idaho. He's still trying to process what happened at his own school. 4
of my peers, were murdered in their sleep, and we've mostly just been working on trying to get as much of the information out there that is, factual and true, and I just still haven't processed it.
Meanwhile, communities across Idaho have been holding candlelight vigils, including this one in downtown Idaho Falls on Monday night.
When you've walked the same walk that these victims walked that night, when you've gone to the same places they went to a million times, when you've literally stepped foot in the house that this happened, it's so surreal.
paying tribute to the victims while still yearning for answers. Police are asking the public if they have any information to call or email their tip line. That number, 208-883-7180.
Still asking for tips, too. All right. That's the end of my sharing. So what are you guys thinking? Let's talk about, I'm going to put the link up so people can call in, but what are you guys thinking? Because I have a theory that I haven't heard discussed. And I don't know if it's necessarily something I believe. It's just something that I think is plausible. But Potato, go ahead.
Ebony in chat asked if, what if the killer used the girls' phones to phone Jack? And that's something that I thought of as well, because unless the call connects, they don't know who was actually on the other end of the phone. So it could have been someone in the house using the phone to call Jack. Like maybe it was someone that they knew. They said it was a targeted attack, so it could have been someone that they knew. Kaylee had apparently been stalked as well. Apparently had a stalker in the months before it happened. So it could have been someone who knew that Jack was her ex-boyfriend. And then someone else said that the murders happened after those calls, but those calls ended 8 minutes before they think the murders happened. So that's a really short amount of time. So it could have already happened to them. Maybe the other two were attacked after that. Who knows? I mean, the two that were sleeping, Ethan and his girlfriend, might have heard something happening and gone to like investigate. So they could have been killed after these calls. Like the girls could have been killed before that. They could have been killed after. Like we don't know what the actual time frame was. Yeah.
I never thought of that. But what I did think of is this. I thought of this. What if, okay, I know they said that it's not a murder-suicide, and we do have our first caller. Silence, I'll let you on in just a second. But what I was thinking is it possible, even though they said it wasn't a murder-suicide, that the killer was killed in a defense thing? Like, is the killer dead? Is that possible?
So one of the four, do you mean?
Right, and that they just don't realize it maybe. I mean, I'm not saying they're stupid, but I mean...
It's possible.
But then they would have found
blood.
But then where's the knife, right? Then where's the knife? So that doesn't make sense. Okay, let's bring Silence on, and then HJ, you're up after Silence.
All right.
Hello. Hey, lovely.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm doing great. Just got back from the grocery store.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So what are you thinking?
So this is my theory. Absolutely just my theory. I thought it was a targeted attack. I never thought that it wasn't. Possibly was watching them for quite a while. Outside that night or already inside is like kind of I'm on board. But I feel like he was already knew what he was going to do. Like he had been fantasizing and had just been working himself up to it. I really don't think that he expected. I think that he expected just the girls.
The two blondes. Haley and Maddie.
Yeah. That are just all girls. Maybe his thing was, all of them, his fantasy. Stabbing.
It's very personal.
Is a different. Yes, it is. Can I say?
You can say whatever you want.
Out of arousal for men that perpetrate these kind of crimes. Their way of getting gratification.
Control. It's about control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And rage.
So exactly. And so if a man was there and how thrown off he would be.
It could be
He would be
somebody
like,
simply, you know,
his
it could be
whole-
simple. It could be someone that
Mhm.
one of them just disregarded, that they were hitting on him at the bar and they shoved him off. I have a friend whose daughter was murdered and that not stabbed, she was strangled, but she was 14. This 30-some-year-old man was like following her on this trail and, you know, hitting on her, and she blew him off and started walking faster, and he snuck up behind her and attacked her.
Oh my God, that would be horrible.
And the only reason she wasn't sexually assaulted was because he got spooked. So just because there wasn't sexual assault doesn't mean that it wasn't thought of. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not trying to add a component to it. I was relieved when I heard that wasn't a component, but there could be a reason why it wasn't too. Good point.
And it could actually just be something that the police aren't telling us.
True. There's a lot they're not telling us.
Like, you know. Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Rejection. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. It's a lot of these lunatics, they don't have a very, I see that like a lot of them are emotionally very immature. Like something happened to them in their teens or their childhood or whatever that kind of stumped them. Because like in the case of my girlfriend whose daughter was murdered, that dude had like the mentality of a 14-year-old. He was a grown man. He had children. He was capable of functioning like a grown adult, but emotionally, he was the same age as her. And it's I think that we have to recognize that only because that's part of the problem, is that these sickos in their mind relate with, you know, younger girls or whatever. So, I mean, we're all thinking this is a student. This could be some creepo who has been watching them.
Yeah.
You know,
very easily.
it's off campus. So their neighbors, I don't know about that apartment complex that's right next to them, but that's a pretty big apartment complex. I don't know if that's considered off campus or on campus, but anyone could live there if it's off.
Absolutely.
It's definitely
Do you
personal.
100% personal.
Do you think that they found out for sure that the animal deaths were not tied to it at all? Like, how did they prove that?
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, they did say that it wasn't connected, but
they didn't say how. They knew.
Unless they know more about these murders than what they're saying, that's the only reason I could think of why they would be able to disconnect the two things from each other. Because otherwise, I mean, it sounds similar.
Something just hit me though. Okay, so you know how we get fooled, right? We know that the cops, like when they do press conferences, they lie, and they can lie, so that the suspect thinks a certain thing, right? So what if one of the roommates are a suspect, but they don't want them to think they know more than they do, so they're strategically saying no, they're not, so that they keep their guard down, so they stay in their sights, so they're not hiding and not, you know, on guard. I mean, that's always a possibility too. So that is another,
and like the least the least they say, the more that they can get from the truth.
Right. And now it's a catch-22. I'm seeing these law enforcement really put under a lot of pressure because of social media and podcasts. We heard podcasts mentioned today in Delphi. They're on guard for this stuff, and they're getting a lot from the family end of it that want answers. And then they need to keep things close to their vest. So it's like they're kind of screwed. But they need to go into them, I think, these cases prepared that they're going to get the social media sleuths are going to be on it, because it's just going to be.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
going
they're
anywhere.
learning that that's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, look at the last three cases. Look at Quentin Simon. We had loitering signs having to be put out on the road. And then we have the judge in Delphi stepped down because a YouTuber put his info out there and he was uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
And then now we have a podcast being mentioned about leaking documents in a case. And that's serious.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
I mean,
and in this case as well, they had to quash the rumors that were going around by saying, Hoodie Guy wasn't involved and stuff. They know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They know what's going on social media. And it's like the stuff about them being gagged and bound. I saw that going around. People share something and then someone sees it and immediately shares it. So it just keeps on going and going and nobody's fact checking it to see if it's real. And it wasn't true at all.
Which brings me to my short that I just put out with Tucker. There was a guy that was a fake protester about like this January 6th and Trump and stuff. But anyways, he called him out. I put a short up. It's only like 20 seconds long, but he calls him out on being fake and having a fake company. And the guy finally says, it's just so darn easy to get people to believe anything you say. And it's like, oh my God, is that where we are now?
It really is, though. But it's easy, isn't it, to just trust what you're watching, what you're seeing and listening to, than it is to go and see if it's actually true by, I don't know, trying to find it elsewhere or through an official source.
You see it posted one place and then someone sees it and they post it somewhere else and you're like, oh, this is posted to 16 different places, so it must be true.
Yeah.
And so you don't even feel the need to go and fact check it.
Right.
It's like with telling lies. Like the more you tell a lie, eventually it becomes the truth because so many people have heard it. You start believing it yourself. Other people are believing it, so then it becomes
it's
the
like
truth.
the game of telephone.
Yeah.
It's literally
like the situation with
the what?
Sorry, like the stalker. Only one person has reported that, and it has not been like.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
We're a stalker.
I just feel like people make shit up. She
could have.
Well, we talked about her being an OnlyFans girl. You know what I'm saying? Like that could have easily started a rumor. So I think that's just a really good reminder to just be mindful of what you're posting and what you're sharing. Because we don't have control. There's always going to be Facebook groups that put out fake shit, just for the thrill of it and to get things stirring for whatever reason they enjoy doing that. But we can control what we share, so like before we share it, if we double check or, see if it's out there officially, because that's how it all gets spread and it's a mess, but thank you for sounding off. I see Shane in chat and I haven't seen him pop up yet, but go ahead, HJ. What are your thoughts? What's going on in the HJ brain on this?
Oh gosh, you don't even want to know.
I might. That's a loaded question.
We do.
Yeah, I know. So my thing right now is the perpetrator. If you think about this, I was quick to think personal because stabbings are typically very personal crimes. But then I thought about it and I'm like, 4 people. This person stabbed 4 people to death. That takes a lot of effort. And they didn't cut themselves. They didn't get a nick on their hand. They're just walking around right now like they're fine, Joe Blow off the street, no injuries, nothing. That 4 people in the crime scene that they're talking about, I don't know. It's just hard for me to believe that it's just some college student stalker.
And especially when they were fighting back as well, you'd expect there to be some self-inflicted wounds from them fighting. They've got defensive wounds and that's normally what happens. They normally end up getting themselves.
I'm just scared because society scares me now. That age group scares me. They are so different. I have a 22-year-old girl, and then I have a 26-year-old boy, and then a 23-year-old boy. And let me tell you, my daughter at 22 is on the cusp of that really weird generation that they don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to do a job interview. They don't know how to order a fucking pizza. They get anxiety ordering pizza. They're this world. That's what they are.
Yeah.
They're this.
Everything's through text.
Yep. Yep. Or FaceTime. You know, you don't have to sit and look someone in the face and actually breathe the same air they're breathing. And they have a problem with that. And it makes them like, it changed. They're different, you know, and I don't think they know how to handle a lot of social situations. And that scares me. Because, and I hate to bring up video games because I'm not a big, you know, video games make people kill. But the reality of how those video games look, it looks real. Like, it's no longer Pong or Pac-Man. It's not cute anymore. They're military people with fucking rifles and stuff. Like, it looks real. So how do you have a kid that can actually socialize when all they're doing is this and virtual reality games?
Yeah. And especially with the VR sets and things, like the graphics and stuff is so advanced now, like it literally does look realistic. So then you've got kids playing
they're desensitized
horrific games that are desensitized to
is nothing.
Yeah.
Do you see the bloodbath on some of these games? I mean, I've never been one that says, oh, video games or rock music does this, that. I don't believe that. But I do think that they are very real looking. And when you're spending all that time, I know when I'm on YouTube too much or following true crime too much, it messes with your head. I can't imagine, you know, look at Ethan Crumbley. The kid was lonely. The kid had no friends. He lost it. Now, for whatever reason, but it could be something as easy as rejection that these kids don't know how to process and like talk through. That's all I'm saying. That generation and beyond scares the shit out of me. They're going to be running our world, you guys, when we're old.
Yes. Scary.
I have a VR headset at my house, and there is a game where whenever you're on the TV while someone is playing, and not saying this has any reason connected to what happened to these people, I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying, he's playing, and he literally got to choose his weapon. And it was like, you know, knife. And he was literally stabbing women and people. And I was like, this is not cool. Right. This is not cool. I mean, desensitizing people to this. I mean, was like, just turn that off.
And let's face it, virtual reality, don't they? I mean, they have like static, so you feel it. Like, if you're stabbing someone, I bet you get that resistance like you do when you stab.
Vibrates. Yeah, because you've got the handset
you
and they vibrate.
Sensation and vibrates in the control. So there is that feeling of that. So you're getting
a sense of what it feels like.
Feedback.
Yeah, and I think that's just really scary. And I've never been a big, you know, like I said, video games. Back when the video games were more primitive and you know, you actually lost the game, so you didn't want to start over. But when they have it where you could save your progress, when that started, I remember my son played like Call of Duty or whatever when it first came out or whatever. And he thought it was the greatest thing because he could save his progress. He never died. Whereas, you know, I would sit and play Pac-Man for a while. And then you lose so many times, you're like, God, I need a break. Like, I cannot start at that first screen because, like, I made it to, like, the 50th screen. Like, I am not. So you'd turn it off and you'd go outside, you know? But
there's
don't
like an
have
end
that.
point.
They don't have that. Okay, back to the case,
and it's addictive as well.
But, yeah, I mean, that just goes to show this, it could be a lot of things, you know?
What do you think about, about the roommate? So this, because we're on theories, right? So my theory is that this guy was very organized. Like, he knew what he was going to do before he went in there, regardless. And them who he was going to do, but it was going to happen to somebody. And with him. And he had a plan. So my thought is because immediately call 911, they called their friends. My thought is that maybe called and said, hey, you need to get up. So-and-so isn't picked to come to work. And they went out there, knocked on the door, and so maybe they call somebody who's bigger, stronger, maybe they can beat open the door or get it open. And then they called 911.
Crazy. Everyone in chat is saying the killer was angry. Angry. You're cutting out a little bit on us.
I'm sorry.
Is it your signal?
Well, I am in the middle of the... Yeah, probably.
She's like, yeah, I'll just say yeah. I mean, you're okay. We can hear you. Just occasionally you cut out just a little bit, but we could hear you.
Yeah.
Daniel says he still suspects the roommates.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know why, Daniel.
I know. Call in, Daniel. The link is pinned, you guys. Shane, you have to refresh to see all the new likes. He's like, 700 people here and 22 likes?
Oh, yeah. You need to hit the refresh.
Culkin. You're what the French call. Les incompetents.
Les incompetents.
Okay, so Shane says, I friggin' knew the timing would be perfectly bad. I am about to go remove laundry from the dryer and start folding. Shane, you suck.
What a party
Sounds
people.
like an excuse.
I know.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lame-o excuse. ICU, is it just rumor that Ethan was found out in the hall? Yeah, we haven't heard anything confirmed.
They haven't said.
Jack,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
right
they
here.
said that they died in their beds, so.
Or cut your hand like real bad. Like just, I work in regular ICU. If you've ever seen like it gets on you, or if you've seen someone with a cut, their clothes are. You're not gonna look at this dude and be like, "Hey, bro, you all right? Wake up, wake up." Like,
well, someone in chat said that the door was locked, so maybe that's why they thought they were unconscious, because they weren't waking up. So that would mean the killer killed them, and then locked the door behind him and went on to the next one? That's weird.
But how do they know that? Have they actually said that, though? Like, officially?
No.
I don't. I think
Because I've
I've
heard that he was in the hallway, and I've also heard that the doors were locked. I mean, which one is it?
I think that's two theories.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
Ave.
just a lot of theories.
Ave, can you hear us?
Hi,
Hey.
it's Avie.
Hi.
Oh, Avie, sorry. I always say Ave.
Hi. Amy.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't know already because I had to check out for a little bit. I was working out, but I still believe it's a stalker. Can y'all hear me?
I can. You cut out for a second, though. Is it us or
Yeah.
is it?
It did cut out for a sec.
I know.
Oh, I think it's a stalker situation.
So where do you get that from, though? Did you just hear that, or is that just what you think? Or did you see that somewhere?
I had a personal experience, and they're very dangerous. This guy was stalking me. I even knew that he existed.
Wow.
And then we hung out, and I thought everything was fine because the judge, did his ruling, and he was supposed to go to some day reporting center. I don't know what that was in the clear. And then, like a year later, I got a call, and we finally found him. He was sleeping in his car less than a month. So the stalker situation, I guess it just hits close to home because I've been there. I've lived that. I've gone over to friends, and it's been circling around the neighborhood. I mean, it's like I don't know. I just get stalker specifically.
I mean, that's totally possible. And they were pretty girls, and I'm sure that when they went out, they were, all eyes were on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I didn't, and I don't know, but wasn't one of the driving a stalker?
That was like spreading around, but there's been no
is that a
official.
rumor?
Yeah, we don't know for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, that was just like mentioned
gotcha.
somewhere. but they haven't officially said anything.
And maybe that's why I was like, oh yeah, definitely, because of my experience. It's like, but they, stalkers, they'll be lurking around, and you have an idiot. Whenever I found out that my stalker was stalking me for as long, I don't know.
Oh, you know what? This is really interesting. So, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but Jeff Taylor said something. I'm watching chat before it goes away. He said, all indicating boyfriend, killer knew the layout of the house, hence how quick it was. Dog didn't bark, so knew the killer. Boyfriend lives nearby. Crime of passion as they had split, and the cops didn't clear him. Then someone added to that, I forgot. She's fixing to move to Texas. Yeah. She's going bye-bye, and she just bought herself a nice little Range Rover, and things are looking good for Kaylee.
Yeah, that's what makes me think that it was a stalker as well. Yeah.
Boyfriend turned stalker because of the breakup. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
That's, you know what? And you know what? Thank you for saying that, because that really is the most plausible, and that the others got in the way.
Yep. Because Kaylee was due to graduate apparently next month as well. So she was really getting ready to leave. So if someone was, not wanting her to go, and she was due to travel as well, apparently. So she bought a new car and she was going to travel.
When they said they recently split, what's recent? Like,
exactly.
Well, her mom said on again, off again too, in her interview.
Yeah.
And it was because Kaylee was being a brat. I thought it was interesting that her family didn't really like right out the gate, they kind of said like some negative things about her.
Yeah.
It kind of caught me off guard when they said, she's a mean girl. I mean, I know she was saying she's a fighter, but you never hear those things when you hear a family talk about a murder victim for the first time on TV.
Well, and it's their daughter, and and she just got married, right? Like,
yeah, and she said, she was being a brat. It sounds like they're closer with the boyfriend than her. And I got
that's giving me major Scott Peterson.
I was just gonna say I was getting major Lacey Peterson vibes from that, because Sharon said the same thing. We love Scott. Scott would never do this. And then that just made her even more angry when he was charged.
Well, Scott was quite the charmer, because when Lacey's mom, I think he got Lacey a dozen red roses and a dozen white roses whenever they went out to dinner together. He was quite the charmer.
Yeah, at the first date, or the first time he met Sharon. Yes, he brought roses for Lacey and her mom. He knew exactly. Scott Peterson's no dummy. He's no dummy.
Like most.
Speaking of which,
narcissistic.
Guys, December 2nd is the day the judge is going to announce if he gets a new trial or not. December 2nd. Yes.
Biting my nails. Have to follow that again.
Wouldn't that be crazy to watch the Peterson trial again?
My life. Or whenever they were looking for Lacey, I mean, God, I was following that.
Oh, me too. Nancy Grace every night.
Oh, yes.
Moose Girl says that kid could not have overpowered Ethan. Ethan was an athlete.
But they were
I was saying that too, because I've seen pictures of him.
Ethan's a big boy. He's a big boy.
But if they were asleep, though, that's an easy target.
I mean,
adrenaline too. Like, if you're super pissed or you're real passionate about it, even the little guy can come out on top.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Too? We don't know if Ethan was like wasted. Like, we don't know if Ethan went out and like partied hard and like stumbled in. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have stumbled in and been belly up and just completely passed out. We don't know what kind of a drinker Ethan was. You know what I'm saying? Like, some guys get drunk and they can't even handle their liquor and they're just sloppy as hell. Some guys can hold it. It just depends on their genetic makeup. But we don't know Ethan, so we don't know. He looks like a great kid, and I'm not saying he's not, but he might be a sloppy drunk and he might pass out when he gets home from the bar or from a party. Most
Well,
kids
also,
do.
whenever I was young, when we were young, we used to get, because we didn't hall intake, and I don't know if I'll go ahead and admit it. I used to get blacked out drunk. Students do, right?
Yeah, it happens.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's very possible.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going, like back in our day, keg parties, of course, you're getting wasted. That was the whole point of going to a party, was to get drunk. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
they weren't
it's
driving.
true.
They weren't doing anything wrong. They did everything they were supposed to do for all intents and purposes. They drank, they went and got food, and they went home. So,
just being young.
Yeah, I mean, they're
and
just being
free
college
is
students. And
Yeah. Plus, it does sound like they died in their beds as well, because they said they were killed in their beds. They had defensive wounds, but they could have still been in bed and defending themselves. So we don't even know if Ethan actually got up and was literally fighting with the attacker.
Yeah.
He could have still been in
well,
bed.
he was probably in bed with the girl, with Zaina or whatever. Is that her name? Zana?
Yeah.
So what if she was attacked first and he woke up?
Yeah.
And
apparently they were found in bed together. I mean, who knows?
I'm
They
getting
haven't
like
officially
Manson
said,
vibes,
but
Sharon Tate vibes from this.
Yeah, I did right from the beginning. Yeah.
And I think that's why people were like, oh, they were probably bound and gagged,
And if you think about it, the reason that you're not going to hear screams, have you ever had the breath knocked out of you and even talk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you think about it with that force, which is what it sounds like, they're not gonna be able to.
And if you're passed out drunk and there's some dude coming at you with a knife, I mean, you're only able to do so much, no matter if you're an athlete or not. I mean, if they stab you in the right place, you're going to be pretty much subdued.
And you're going to be so groggy when you're first waking up at 2.
Yep.
You're just going to be so disoriented. It's not his bed. Maybe he isn't used to staying there, so that throws him off too.
Mm-hmm. And not to be graphic, but if they went for the throat, then that would take away any possibility of screaming. Yeah.
But that would mean that they would have had to research that a little bit.
Yeah, throats are... not to be graphic, hard to cut. It's not.
It's so nasty.
But it's possible.
Yeah.
Especially with that kind of knife, if they think it was a Rambo knife.
I think Jeff Taylor's onto something. He said, crime of passion, which they did say, up close, brutal, and personal. Killer was blind with anger, as can often happen when a beautiful girl moves on.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Just don't.
Wait a minute. I just had a brain moment. I just had an epiphany. What if the mom is saying Jack is good because they don't want Jack to think
that he's a suspect?
And maybe that's the hardest thing that the mom ever had to do, was to pretend. That's
maybe
an avenue too.
It's very possible.
Because they can lie to us.
I mean, think about
even
it.
the press conferences.
Why his phone? Why did they both call his phone? It's almost like when Chris called Shanann's phone, knowing she was dead. He could have called himself?
Yeah.
I mean, that's possible.
For his own alibi. Well, I wasn't there. They were calling me. Why would they call me if I was there?
You have Scott Skulls?
Scott Skulls needs to come up.
Yeah, come up and tell us if you want. I mean, if you want to tell us, that's freaking scary.
What did he say?
But could the mom and the family be just beside themselves working with LE to trick? Because we know that these kids all look at social media.
Yes.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Weren't they searching ex-boyfriend's car? Or was that also just a rumor?
I think that was,
wasn't it? No.
I think that was a rumor.
Yeah, I haven't.
They haven't specifically said anything they searched. Except for
apart from the dumpsters.
The dumpster, and then yesterday I think it was, they roped off the backyard area, and they were looking for evidence in the back. And I thought, it took them this long to rope off behind the house?
Yes.
Like,
No kidding.
but you know, this
It
could
should have been
all
one of the
be
first
this could
indicators.
all be for show. Everything we see on the media from the police could all be a show for the suspect.
Of course, this is all speculation, people.
Yes.
Like that are watching.
Oh
This
yes,
is none of-
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
Theory.
These are all just theories. Because I personally don't think it's a boyfriend.
You don't.
No. I just don't. I just, I mean, even if they were together, does that, he's,
I do
in
have
my
pictures.
mind, this is my personal opinion, he would be filled with incredible remorse. Like after the act, see him going on to murder other people in the house. That's my personal opinion. It was him, and she was his targeted victim. Now, if someone walked in and tried to stop him, I could see him like fighting against them. Otherwise, that's why I take him off the table myself, personally.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, it could go either way. But
Yeah.
when we go with the most plausible, that it's targeted, it's personal, it's definitely someone they know.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that there was just the 6 of them. And they said the roommates aren't suspects either. Now I have some.
True.
You need the link? Here. Shane. It's right there. I have some pictures that we can look through. Can you guys see that? Did I ask them to do that?
No.
I know. I said I was going to get rid of it, but I can't because
I know.
I like it.
You keep using it.
Did I ask them to do that? Okay, so here's picture 1, and these are, I think, screen grabs from videos, maybe. I don't know where people got these. Shell put these in chat, but there's a barbecue, and then there's a screen laying on the... Can you guys see that good or no?
Well,
Yeah, I
Let
can
me
see
see
it.
if I can make it a little bit bigger. Let's get us out of there.
It's fine.
But I think the audience, I think it's small for them. There we go. Uh-oh, we have a caller. Oh, no. It's Shaners. All right, let's bring Shane up, and then we'll go through these photos. Hold on, Shane Culkin. We're coming. We're going to have a full panel tonight. Here we go. Welcome, Shaners. Can you hear us?
Hi.
Let me know if you can hear me. Shane.
Oh, hold on. No, I'm having.
I can
Yeah,
hear
hold
you.
on. You can't? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to do this headphone thing because I really have laundry. Hold on.
Oh my God.
There.
He's folding clothes, you guys.
Oh my god.
I'm on my way.
Shane, you're looking good. You're looking dapper tonight.
Hi, girls. Yeah, I did that on purpose just now. I didn't shave though, but I knew I was going to go on camera.
You're looking pretty dapper. So
Hey,
we
thanks
have
for
we have
noticing.
an echo.
All right.
Echo.
Shane,
Okay, so that's easy. Now to go. Yeah, what's up?
do you have your YouTube plan?
Oh, shit. This is really crappy.
No, you're
Say
okay.
again?
Just pause it. Just pause YouTube. Are you on your phone?
Oh, gotcha. Okay, hold on.
Are you on your Samsung Droid? Shane's like in 2002. Oh my God, I can hear myself.
What is going on?
Shane, mute your YouTube.
I do it now, right?
Okay, yeah, you're good now. So what's up?
Ah, thank you. Okay. What's up, Lonnie? Let me see. Not watching. I was doing my laundry. That's really it. So
you're
you don't like the
holding a
stalker
tiny
theory? How come?
whiteys, and we're talking true crime. I couldn't ask for a better
Box of briefs.
There we go.
Tuesday.
Tidy whities and
What a
true
night.
crime.
Tidies and true crime with Shane.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so
that should
what
be
do
the
you
title
think?
of
Do
the
you think
show.
this is
Yeah.
like a stalker situation? What's your thoughts? Seriously.
Yeah. That's all I can think of right now. I know. I wish I caught the beginning of your show. You had a really good one just before I popped on. I already forgot it though. What'd you say?
The one where the killer's actually dead? That one?
Oh wait, no.
That wasn't me.
Why would he be dead? That wasn't
what
you.
what if the kill? Yeah, we already debunked my stupid theory.
Oh,
so
oh.
my theory is out the
okay.
window.
Well,
But someone
okay. Well,
said
E. Moore.
about the boyfriend. Are you thinking the boyfriend?
Nope, not at all. Nope.
You're not thinking the boyfriend?
Nope. And okay. E. Moore was here before, and she said something like those phone calls were possibly to lure, what's his name in? Jack?
To the
That
house?
sounded pretty good. I didn't think about that. Yeah, why were there so many phone calls and like just before the time of the murders? Or it could have been the time of, I don't know.
Well,
Nobody else thinks that's good?
excuse me.
Do I still
But
look
why
good?
would they want to lure him there? What would be the
Well,
motive
why would
to
you
like
kill
kill him
anyone? I don't
too?
know.
Maybe if it was the stalker.
Yeah, well, who's the ex-boyfriend is he?
Kaylee.
Aries.
Oh, and she's the one that had the stalker, isn't she?
Well, that's what they
Apparently.
say, but we don't know if that's confirmed.
Oh, you're kidding. By now, we still don't. Okay,
No,
'cause
they're
I
not
always heard it
confirming
was her.
anything for us. Like really hardly anything at all.
Oh, I know, it's just so boring.
I know.
But
You
they
love
just
those
said
press
that-
conferences.
Now it's sounding more like stalker. Yeah, they're very useful.
So it's either
Anyway,
random
yeah.
stalker,
I'm
but
going
how
with
is a
stalker.
random stalker?
How is a
personal?
random stalker?
I'm echoing again.
I'm so sorry. You're going in and out.
I know. What's going on with that? Is it me? No, because potato and potato.
No,
are you
you're
there?
good. Yeah. No, you're fine.
I think it's maybe the
Okay.
phone with this restream, possibly.
No. It's my crappy headphones. That's all. Go on.
No, so anyways, I was just saying like with the boyfriend, with them being broken up and Kaylee was getting ready to move to Texas, was starting her life, she was graduating from college, she just bought a new car, she was planning on traveling. I mean, all of these things that she was looking forward to doing and it didn't sound like he was going with her. From
Was
what?
he cleared? Was he one of them that were cleared?
No,
And they cleared a lot of people.
they did.
Maybe you're right.
They did kind of clear a
All
lot
right.
of people.
But he must have no cuts on his hands. He did a pretty good job.
Yeah, just how is that even possible?
I don't get it. That's what I was saying. Somebody has to be cut somewhere. Somebody has to be damaged. This was a brutal, brutal attack.
Not necessarily.
I just thought of something else. Guys. Okay, so
Go.
remember Kaylee's mom said, Jack is with us. Meaning like staying there. So are they keeping him close?
No, that would be pretty frightening if you think you got a murderer like that, no?
Oh yeah, I guess maybe they wouldn't want him to stay there. I don't know though. I don't know. I'm a rookie, you know? But she said he's with us.
Did she mean staying with them or just meant that he was like part of their family? Like, was it at the same time that she was saying he's 1,000% part of us, like he's our family?
Is that what she meant? So it's a different
I think
context.
so.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah,
looking
like
at
he's just
everything.
part of them.
Yeah, I'm going stalker for NASCAR.
It's just so random. Like, why that night? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't do anything crazy. They just went to the corner bar and got food truck food. Like, I don't know.
I mean, if he had that securely, like even just like literally strapped to his hand, you know what I mean? So, I mean, the only reason he would get cut is if it slips. You know what I mean? If he had it really well, you know, or wore those kind of gloves that people that cut meat and fish, butcher gloves.
That's true.
I don't know, especially if, you know, if you
Well,
play
if you're
with knives.
yeah, if you're planning it, I don't know, Shane. You've
Yeah.
got some pretty crazy ideas there. Should we be worried?
The possibilities.
Does Jay is for Justice have a stalker? He's doing his laundry. He's so scary. So how's the weather there in New York? Is it cold?
Yeah, but now it's going to be within the 50s again, so we're pretty lucky. It was really, really cold over the weekend.
Oof.
It's okay. It's just, you know, it's typical.
It looks cold.
November was. No, it's okay. I can't even see my breath. It's like 50
You've got
degrees.
no breath yet. It's fine.
Okay, so since we have a male on panel, I want to get your male perspective on this question, Shane.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay, so you ready? Did I ask you to do that?
Did I ask
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me
Okay, so
ask you.
did I ask you to do that, Shane? But what do you think of this theory that possibly someone hit on the girls at a bar, one of the girls or both, and was rejected and followed them? How possible is that?
That's a very good one too.
But would they call that personal if they didn't know the guy? I would think they'd have to know him for it to be personal. Are you having troubles?
Yeah, I just heard you say personal 4 times. Ugh.
Is it cutting out for you guys, Heather and Potato?
Well,
No, for the callers, yeah.
No,
I don't know why.
I promise these are just crappy. So, I like it. I mean, this could be a nut that.
What's the deal with the private party driving them home? Does that mean just another student? Does that mean there's a designated driver? Like, what is
just
a friend? A taxi?
Or
what does that mean?
Uber? I don't know.
It could be like, like something like that. I know they have like where someone can escort. So maybe it's something like that.
Like the college does, you mean? Do you think that the hoodie guy was someone driving them home?
Initially, really did. I really did.
God, you guys are cutting out really bad. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
I know. I think we have too many up here.
It's contagious. Do you think the hoodie guy ran to get his car?
Okay,
Maybe
Silent,
he really
hang
was
on.
their
Silence
driver.
is going to hop down, and then let's see if it gets better. Bye. Thank you for calling in.
Bye.
Bye, Baya.
Bye.
Okay, Shaneth. Are you there?
Anything.
Mike Stanner.
No.
If he doesn't start moving, I'm going to throw up. Vertigo.
I'm gonna buy another set.
Wow, Smoke and Jay said that they think it could be a girl.
Oh, wow.
That's... I don't know, man. I think that's pretty brutal for a girl.
Yeah, I don't feel like it is, but I mean, again, anything's possible. If they were all sleeping, so.
Was White Hoodie guy?
I don't know. Jodi Arias.
Was he found to be friends with them?
She got.
Were they friends with Hoodie Guy? Or do we not know? We just know he was cleared.
I don't think we know. Yeah.
Yeah,
they
he was
haven't
cleared.
said.
He was cleared, but okay. I guess if he was a private ride, we'd know.
So it wasn't Hoodie Guy.
No.
Well, and they say,
oh my God, hold on. He's in the party
Oh
store.
my Lord.
Let's say hi to the guy. Shane, put the guy on camera. Let's say hi to him. He's frozen. I think it's a signal thing.
It probably is because he's moving.
Did you hear
around.
the guy at the store?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on the move again.
Oh, shoot. He's in New York City, guys. Hoodie's a neighbor.
Close your eyes, Mike.
Jody
Yeah, sorry.
Arias was pretty past a girl.
Oh my God, you guys, I can't hear.
Oh, hang on, I'll come back. I'm going to come back to you, okay?
Okay. All right.
Maybe I should go.
Okay,
Yeah,
Shane,
I'll come back.
try
Stay-
to call
stay-
back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will. It's better when I get home.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye
All
now.
right, bye. Yeah, when
Oh,
he's
yeah.
on
Oh,
Wi-Fi, it'll be better, I think. He
Yeah.
doesn't know how to get off.
At least he
got rid of-
figured it out.
Oh my
okay.
God. Oh, well, at least we didn't have to see his undies as he was folding them. I would have much rather seen him at the store than folding his undies. Oh, Shane, we love you. We love you. Let's see if
It could have very well been a girl. I mean, Jody Arias was pretty crazy. Look what she did.
That's so true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She was
Yeah,
so
what she
insane.
did to
That's
Travis.
one
She was very
person.
upset.
That's
Not
one
four,
person.
yeah.
Yeah.
To do
Sleeping.
it.
They were sound.
But that was one. That was one awake person that she attacked. But
Yeah.
these were sleeping, so that's different, isn't it? Like a
Sleeping
girl could do
groggy.
that with someone that's sleeping.
I still just.
She was pretty little compared to him too. I thought.
Yeah, she
Muffins
was.
Yeah,
stuff.
she was.
Yeah. Yep.
The whole thing just has me shook. I can't imagine living there. I just can't.
No, it
It'd
must be terrifying.
Mhm. Like it was when Bundy was on the loose, on the prowl. But isn't that
I
what
have a
he did as well?
question about.
What's up, Avi?
I don't think it was as bloody with Ted Bundy, was it, y'all?
It was pretty
With Fresh
bloody.
Florida.
It was pretty bloody, but not like
With the
Sharon
Florida
Tate
girls?
bloody. It wasn't that bloody. They weren't writing on the walls, I don't think, but I think it was like mattress. They were in their bed, you know what I'm saying? Like seriously, like in the Manson thing, they wrote in their blood on the wall. Like that's what Manson told them to do, right? Sick.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Bundy's were more like in the beds. So it was like mattresses.
Well, my question is, does one leave the house bloody and like nobody
sees
I
it?
don't understand. Like, person escape off into the wilderness, or like, do they not know anybody alone? Like, how do you go home like that and nobody? They had to have been
They're saying
Y'all know what I'm saying?
They're
Like, I don't
saying
wanna
that
get
all
too
the doors were locked on the bedrooms, so that they just thought they were unconscious. I don't know if I believe that.
But I don't understand how there was no blood outside though. Like, how was there no trail leaving the house, or even on any doors or anything? Like, there's nothing on the outside of the house.
I have a question.
What?
Was Jack one of the people that came over in the morning time?
That's what I was going to ask. Do we know if Jack turned up? Because if Jack had missed calls on his phone, like say he was asleep and he woke up to 10 missed calls on his phone from his ex-girlfriend and her friend, wouldn't he be like, what's going on? Something must have happened. I'm going to go and check that they're okay. So if he didn't show up the next day, then that would say to me, exactly.
Oh, good point.
You'd want to find out what was going on. I mean, it was 2, 3 in the morning.
Did he call back? If he
Exactly.
wasn't
We don't
called
know
to come
that.
over, did he return the calls?
Yeah, you'd think he would wake up in the morning and either try to call or he'd go over there. But they haven't said that he was one of
But
the...
didn't her mother,
that
didn't
went.
one of the friends say that she was one that would like call you back to back on the regular basis, even?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said it wasn't
So-
unusual that would happen.
Yeah, so maybe.
Well, you know how kids are.
Maybe
If they don't get
he
an
was just like-
immediate response, like my kids, if I don't text them back, like immediately, I'm like ignoring them. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I do it sometimes as well. I'll call back to back, be like, come on, pick up.
Yeah. You wonder, were they calling back to back because it was an urgent situation? Because they say it happened between 3 and 4, right? 3 and 4.
For me, like if I was scared, if it was like a situation where I was scared, I wouldn't be close. I would be like texting that person like, hey, like.
Well,
hitting
she
them up
might
because I
have.
will.
She might have, but the only reason we know about the
true.
calls is because her sister said that those calls were on there. Cops aren't telling us anything about that.
No.
It's her sister.
But the
Where is
only
our little sister investigator?
right? The only thing that the cops said though is that they're aware of the calls. Now, of course they are. Wouldn't they have her phone?
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you would
So
think
there's
they would
just
have all those records.
Very evasive. Okay, so let's look at these photos. So I don't want to forget to show them because they're pretty like decent photos here. Someone inside gathering evidence, I guess. That looks like the
Is that
kitchen.
a bowl
Bowl,
in
yeah.
his hand?
A what?
Yeah.
A
A
bowl.
bowl.
Mm-hmm. Looks like it. He's got gloves on too. Definitely that's like the sink, I think. Maybe like the counter where the sink is. I'm not sure. Let's see what else we got. This here. Some kind of evidence marker. What is that white thing in his hand? Is that what their
I don't.
evidence is?
Looks like
or-
they're putting that. Yeah, putting that into the envelope.
So that is that's the evidence that they're saving.
Is it a card? Like a birthday
I can't
card?
really tell. Let me see if I can zoom in more. Looks like
Maybe
a
not.
folded piece of paper, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what else we have. Ooh, the solo cups. So what do we see here? That must be through the kitchen window. Whoops. Dang it. That must be through the kitchen window because we saw those solo cups in there. And then, yeah, here they are. See, there's more solo cups. Those ones were in the packaging. And there's some sitting out like on the counter. That's the door that the frickin'
The sliding
chairs
door.
were wedged in. I wonder when this photo was taken. Because when they did that drone footage, the chairs were there. Maybe the cops did put them there.
Yeah. Why would they do that though?
Yeah, that's so
To
weird.
keep people from going in and out of that door.
Why not use crime scene tape?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Although there was tape. There was tape as well, though, wasn't there?
There was
It
red
looked like there
tape
was tape on the.
by the
Red
handle.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like cordoned off, you know? Okay, yeah, there's that red tape. That was what was
Yeah.
on the door. So maybe that's like blood evidence where they... Because what is that? Oh, shit! That's the freaking kitchen cabinets!
Yeah.
I didn't see what that was at first. There's blood probably on those cabinets. That's chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, Daniel, we saw that picture as well. And this is what? What are we looking at here? More evidence. Oh, okay. They're standing behind the couch that's on the patio area in the back of the house. And it looks like
Oh,
they have
yeah.
evidence envelopes. Yeah, because there's the back of the couch right there. And then, yeah, here's that door.
Yeah.
See all the Truly and the Bud Light? Do you see it all?
Oh my gosh,
Do
yeah.
you see it
Yeah.
now? You have to like look hard. Truly on the far left. Corona, Bud Light,
Looks like Tito's.
orange juice.
Wow.
You can't even see the top of that table. whatever that is covered with stuff. This was definitely like her parent, or one of the parents said a party house.
Yes. Yeah, they did say
just
that.
came over
That people
and
knew
just-
the code.
Mhm.
Yeah, they said the code was no secret.
I mean, look at that kitchen. That is not like 6 girls having a cute little place, you know.
No, it's probably open access all the time. Like people could just drop in,
I do
grab a
agree.
drink, kind of thing.
What's that?
I agree with whoever said that. I agree with the person that did this was aware of the layout of the house.
For sure.
Yeah.
They knew exactly where to go. It's too weird of a house to have those 3 floors and you just know. But really, I mean, all you'd have to do is go up and down those stairs. We looked at the layout. It wasn't all that. I mean, it's pretty much the stairs. You walk in, the bedrooms are right there, the basement, and then you go up those stairs, and then there's the 2 other bedrooms in the living area.
And if they're having parties and people are in and out all the time, they're not going to notice if one random person starts wandering around. Well,
But then they knew how to get to the
big
3rd
party.
floor, too.
Yeah. It's just very weird that they left 2 people
victims.
in the basement alive.
It is
like, why
weird.
did they leave them down there? Because that's 2 people that could potentially have heard something going on.
You're right. It could
Like,
be
2
fingerprints.
potential witnesses.
Where the tape is, that could be fingerprints as well.
Oh, yeah, it could.
So, this though, what about the other 2 roommates just being scared shitless, quiet, and not moving until they know for a safe for them to go upstairs and call 911? You know what I mean?
But it was 8 hours, though.
Yeah, and they said that they'd slept until then as well.
They woke up at noon. So they were partying too.
How could they not hear anything?
They passed out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They could have had earbuds in.
Yep.
And plus they were in the basement as well, so.
And it could be pretty, we don't know like how sound that house is either. You know, it could be pretty sound, pretty well insulated because it is for like multiple dwelling, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's a really nice house,
It is
too.
really nice. Super nice. Did you see the frat house they were? Oh, no, that was the one in California. Never mind. Wrong state. Here's the layout of the house again. So if you look at the 2nd floor, if they came in on the 2nd floor, it means the roommates were on the 1st floor and they never even went down there. So if they came in through the sliding door, there's the bedrooms. Boom, boom. They would have had to know where those fucking bedrooms were on that main floor.
I agree.
Yeah. Because there's bathroom.
They knew exactly what
yeah.
they were coming for.
And to be there and then.
So I don't think it could just have been.
We don't even know if the killer stayed back and cleaned because the roommates were sleeping.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, 8 hours is a hella long time to have 4 dead bodies.
Yep.
In a house with other people.
But if you've been drinking a lot, especially if you get like blacked out drunk.
Right.
I mean, I've accidentally done it.
Everybody has,
More
you know?
than what I'd like to.
I mean, it's college. That's what they do. You know, they party on the weekends. And they were, you know, ramping up. They were getting.
And you wake up and you absolute hell. You know what I mean?
Yep. You feel like
could
death.
you imagine waking up from seeing that?
No. Can you imagine coming home from the bar, crashing, literally, and then being woken up to a brutal attack like that? It's chilling.
Oh my God.
I mean,
y'all, funny story.
The fear is
if
crazy.
you're interested.
Okay, go ahead. What's your funny story? We need
in
something
one
funny.
of my black. So, I had way too much to drink and I just moved into a new townhome, and so I was literally blacking out, and I woke up to a spider underneath up my inside on my stomach, and I grabbed it.
Oh, I would have
right
freaked
before it
out.
bit me.
I would.
Homeboy bit me right there underneath my boob. I had 6 months. I was swole. Like it looked like I had 3 boobies or something.
Oh my God.
But
Did you have to go
I
to the
crushed
doctor?
the spider. No. But then I ended up passing back out, and I felt like my blood was on fire. Morning, where I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what happened." That's how drunk I was.
It happens, you know, it does. And I'm sure, you know, it looked like these girls were having a good time. They were fooling around. They were at the food truck. They were taking pictures for social media. I mean, like I said, I feel like they did everything that they were supposed to do. They weren't driving. They weren't being reckless.
Young.
They weren't, you know, doing anything dangerous. They were just being kids.
Hanging out.
And the sad thing
having
is,
a good time.
yeah, I mean, they made it home safe as well. And I think that's the worst thing about it. They'd been safe all night.
Yeah.
And then get home, and their home is not
they
the
were
safe place.
Making it home safe. Stayed out.
Yeah, but they didn't.
It's awful.
Yeah, it is. It is. But tomorrow we have a press conference at 4 p.m. Oh, Jack says, not sure if you heard, but they just made a website on this case. Who did?
I put in Slack the county's website.
Oh, did they put everything? They
Yeah,
consolidate it?
Oh.
Yeah, they have a summary, the resources, a bunch of like FAQs.
You guys can
all
only
that stuff.
ask 8 Ball yes and no. Angie's like, 8 Ball, who killed them? Like, be careful. It might scroll Scott Skulls or something.
Yeah.
You never know what I've got pre-programmed in that 8 Ball. Be careful what you exit. Did I ask them to do that?
Did I ask them to do that?
Okay, wait. Judy Holliday, how do you know this? Judy Holliday said Ethan was found on the floor next to the bed and Xana was the one in the bed and she really fought for her life. How do you know that? Because her dad didn't say that. He said that she would have fought, yeah, but the positioning I've never heard.
Me neither.
I haven't heard anything official.
Spit.
Or even anything from the family.
Spit says maybe there was a door separating the basement and the second level that would make it harder to hear. Maybe. Gaynor Turley. Could it be Jack was waiting for them to get back, then maybe spiked their alcohol with something as to incapacitate them to make it easier, left his phone at home, then rang it for alibi? Some of these theories are pretty well thought out.
That's pretty good.
They're pretty
Yeah,
well
that
thought
one's-
out. I mean, gosh, I hate to think that the cops have no clue. I really hate to think that.
I think they do have a clue.
I'm not going to allow myself
They're not going to
to
say.
believe that, y'all. I want to stay positive. I think they're definitely going to let us know.
You know, I just thought of something else. I wonder if they're checking like the drains and stuff. If they like, if it was cleaned, and they you know, put stuff, you know, rinse things. They can get like material from, you know, the drains or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder what was their motivation.
What
Do
was
y'all
their what?
know? Motivation for search-ins? Do y'all know?
You cut out at the end. Searching
Or
what?
is that another rumor?
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, sorry. Dumpsters.
Oh,
they
they're
searching dumpsters.
The dumpsters.
Oh, dumpsters.
Yeah, they did. They searched
for the weapon probably. And
I think they searched 3 different ones or something.
Yeah, they
3?
emptied them. They took the contents of 3 dumpsters. That's a lot of stuff.
And they found nothing.
Okay, so
Do you think
Deanna said there was a
surveillance.
Wait, hold on one second. Deanna said there was an FBI profiler that weighed in on this on Fox News, and he said he's sloppy. This is probably more of a compulsive kind of person, and it would put him at a younger age, and he has not done this before. So she said you can catch that on Fox News, that there's a interview with a profiler.
Huh.
Hate to be graphic, but someone had to be on the floor in Ethan and Xana's bedroom to cause the blood to drip out of the room. If that's blood, we have heard that was like something dripping from the pipe, but it does seem like it's blood to me.
It does look like it.
It's just how did it get there is disturbing. Yep, on Fox News. All right, we will check that out. I think that's all I have. You guys have anything else? I think we will anxiously await streaming the press conference tomorrow at 4.
Yep.
Oh, you know what?
Hey, one last.
She said he may have taken a shower and washed.
Could have.
Okay, what, Avi? What's your?
I'm really confused because I thought Shane was the home invasion guy. I thought he was going to tell the home invasion was.
Oh, that was Scotty
Was
Skulls.
that Shane?
No, that was Scott. He didn't call in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was Scott.
I thought the home invasion guy was upping to hear his story, and then he was folding clothes, and I'm like, when is he going to tell us about what happened?
Yeah, he didn't call in. He chickened out. Scott Skulls is kind of a chicken sometimes.
Did I ask him to do that?
Oh, he says he has. Oh, I'm not even repeating that, Scott Skulls.
Oh, Scott.
Not doing it.
It'd probably be difficult to talk about.
So there's a lot of butt
especially-
joints
I
that we
mean,
have to
that has
cover,
to
and I'm
be
like, Dudley, let's do
to
butt joints
relive
together because I don't want
that,
to have to
so-
do them all by myself.
I guess I can.
Yeah, I don't think that's something I'd want to revisit either.
Mm-mm.
Angie B says 8 ball. Am I nice? It says that's up to you, homie. It is very. Hey, Koi boy. All right, for those that are replaying, please do give this video a like. I want to thank all the callers that called in. Avi, thank you for calling in, and Baya, and of course Shane. Shane, we're gonna have to send you some earbuds. If it's not the laundry, it's the earbuds. I mean, the dude always has some kind of an excuse. I'm just kidding. But thank you, ladies, for coming up. Thanks, Potato and HJ, as always.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so let's do
Yes,
this
thank
tomorrow and see what they've got for us.
I can't wait. I'll be there.
I know. Hopefully we get more answers and they're closer to a resolution because this is just unnerving.
Mm-hmm.
Totally unnerving. But thank you guys. And
I feel bad for the town.
yeah, I wouldn't even want to live there. So it's Tuesday. We have exactly 2 days to get in on the TV drawing I'm going to be doing on Friday. So all you have to do is donate via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. $10 or more gets you an entry. We have not a crazy amount of entries, but we've got enough. But you can still get in that, and we will draw it live on Friday. So with that being said, I'm going to say good night to everybody, and we will see you tomorrow. Good night, ladies. Dance
Good night.
the
Good
motherfucker
night.
out.
Dance it out.
Bye, Avi.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that.